Back to the story from earlier this morning, where the man arrested for allegedly attacking the Constitutional Court building is going to be staying in custody. He appeared in the Hillbrow Magistrate's Court, charged with malicious damage to properties. So let's find out what actually came out of court this morning. eNCA's Heidi Jokos following developments, joining us here on All Angles this morning. Hello to you, Heidi. Just take us through what came out of court this morning. We don't know much about the suspect, do we?
Well, we do know a little bit now, Gareth. We do understand that he's 36 years old, Paul Makaula. He was actually out on parole from about 2019. He was convicted of murdering his girlfriend in 2010. So he was out on parole when he decided to attack the Constitutional Court with a hammer a couple of days ago. But we do know that he has not applied for bail. And a lot of this might have to do with the fact that he has gone against his parole conditions and now he's decided not to apply for bail, and he will remain in custody until the 25th of March. We do understand that he is being accused of malicious injury to property after he attacked the Constitutional Court with a hammer. We do know that the damage amounts to about 50,000 rand. So I think many people were quite taken aback in court today here at the Hillbrow Magistrate's Court when it was informed to all of us that he has a previous conviction of murder and he was indeed out on parole. But that's just what we know for now. And interestingly, he has not applied for bail, so he will remain in custody until March.
Let's take a listen then, Heidi. I know you would have had a chance to speak to the NPA about this as well. What's the NPA got to say about this case?
Yes, we do understand that the NPA is, of course, investigating. A very key question that was asked is whether or not this was politically motivated, as there were many questions raised about how Parliament burnt down and a few days later there was an attack on the Constitutional Courts. We do understand that the NPA is saying that for now there has been no direct link and they are still investigating. But we do understand that it might not be linked to that. It seems as though the NPA is, of course, not ruling out the possibility, but for now there are no indications that it could possibly be linked to any kind of attack on national key points. But let's listen to some of what the National Prosecuting Authority had to say.
Yes, we can confirm that the accused is currently serving parole under correctional supervision for a charge of murder. He was convicted in 2010 and released on parole in 2019. So what we have now done as the state is to request the investigating officer to liaise with the Department of Correctional Services in terms of establishing whether or not the accused person before court contravened his parole conditions, and if so, then he should be taken back to custody to serve the remainder of his sentence.
So the NPA speaking to the media a little while ago. Heidi, just before I let you go, there's been some confusion about how police handled the situation on the day. There was reports of one shot having been fired to stop the suspect from damaging the building any further. Did any more details come out in court about the arrest itself?
No, not necessarily, Gareth, but we do know and we have been told that multiple shots were fired as warning shots, because we do understand that the accused approached the Constitutional Court, started attacking the Constitutional Court with a hammer, and the police at the time were trying to get him to move away and had been warning him verbally before firing multiple shots to get him away, and that's when he was subsequently arrested thereafter. But of course we do understand that it was not one shot, it was multiple shots that were fired to try and get the suspect away, because they were not sure what the next motive would have been. We do know that he just took the hammer and started smashing the windows outside the Constitutional Court. So that's all we know for now, but we do understand it was multiple shots.
All right, Heidi Jokos outside the Magistrate's Court in Hillbrow for us, so we'll get more details from Heidi a little bit later as well. We also, the big news coming out of what Heidi Jokos telling us, that the suspect is on parole for previous charges against him and previous convictions against him.